Hello everyone, so we are back for another episode. I think this is maybe episode 4, which doesn't feel right because it feels like it should be about episode 50. There's a lot of recipes still to go. But here we are. This is Maids of Honour tarts, I think, which I thought I knew what these were. And I don't know if it's like maybe just a northeast recipe or something that I'm thinking of, because I thought it was like tarts with like jam in the bottom and a bit of cake on top, which is what like my grandma thought it was as well. So maybe it's just a northeast thing, I don't know. But when I've looked at the like Prue's recipe on the Bake Off thing, it's definitely not that. It's definitely a lot more involved than I thought it would be. I don't know if you can see my handy cameraman might show you all the ingredients that are down here. Just to like purely save time, I've measured out everything for all the different parts of the recipe, because that's taken me about an hour and a half just to do that, to measure everything out, zest stuff. So hopefully the actual cooking process will be fairly swift, because I've got to make cheese curds, which I've never made and I'm not massively looking forward to. I've got to make puff pastry, which I've actually never made before, so I'm hoping that's not a complete disaster. And I've got to make a lemon curd, and I've got to assemble it, and I've got to make the filling to go on top. So it's going to be a long day, so let's get going. So I'm not saying I don't normally follow the recipe, but when it's stuff I know, I tend to just kind of do what I think's right. But for this one, because I don't know it at all, I'm going to follow the recipe to a T, and then if it's wrong, I can just completely blame Prue Leith, which I'm more than happy to do. So I'm going to follow it step by step as she says to do it, because I was going to make the pastry first, but she says not. So I'm going to be very diligent in following the recipe. So the first thing I've got to do for the curd cheese, got to get the milk in a pan. What am I doing? Bringing it to a gentle boil, stirring occasionally, then taking it off the pan, then adding the vinegar and leaving it to stand. Then I'm going to pour it in a pre-prepared bowl with muslin cloth on it, which I'd never heard of, but I found it in a baby section of the shop, which is not a section I've ever frequented. Don't imagine I will. So I've got to put it over this muslin cloth over a sieve and let it chill in that for a bit, and hopefully at the end of it, I say hopefully, for the recipe we'll have curd cheese. I don't particularly want to be involved with any curd cheese, but there we go. And I'm being told it should make over 200 grams of curd cheese, so fingers crossed it makes that amount. So we'll get on with it. I'm not gonna lie, this looks rancid. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, into the bowl it goes to sit for about 30 minutes, and hopefully it'll look less awful. Oh, listen to that sound. Oh, that's disgusting. Right. Hopefully it'll look a bit better in about half an hour. Now it's time to make the puff pastry, and I'm really nervous about this because I just want it to be really good, and I've seen other people make it before and it's been a bit of a disaster, so I'm hoping it comes out really well, otherwise I'll be really upset. Like, you see people have nightmares where the butter just like runs out of the pastry, so I'm hoping it's going to go quite well, so fingers crossed. Right, what are we at? On a lightly floured surface, roll the dough to a rectangle measuring 30 by 12 centimetres. Right. 30 by 12. Probably should have like, do I have to measure this, do you think? Is that like dead scientific? Yeah, I probably should. I said I was going to follow the instructions, so that is what I'll do. A rectangle. Right. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this in my head. Rectangle. It's not going to be square though, is it? I want it to be like... This is definitely not the right way of doing this. Oh my goodness. Right. 30 by 12. Right, I think it's going to be this way. Let's see what this is. Oh look. And as if by magic, the tape measure appears. Do you ever Mr. Ben? Oh, that's not by 12, that's too wide. Oh, give me strength. Tell you what we'll just do. We'll just fold it over. Right, that's 12 centimetres. Now we're talking. Actually, if I fold it, then it will probably be... Maybe this is how you do it to make it the right shape. Oh, thank you. Right. Right. No one saw that. We're going to try this now. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, baby, baby, baby. Oh yeah, baby, baby, baby. If I appear to be carefree, it's only to camouflage my sadness in order to shield my... Grate half of the frozen butter over the bottom 2/3 of the dough. There's a lot of measurements involved there. Right, let's get half of this. Should have took it out of the paper, shouldn't I? Half of the butter. Oh my god. That's half-ish. Ow. Half of the butter over the bottom 2/3. Oh, it looks like cheese. So, over the bottom 2/3 of the dough, fold down the top third. Oh my word. Fold down the top third. Right, is this in thirds, do we reckon? 1, 2, yeah, right. Fold down the top third. And fold up the bottom third as if you were folding a letter.
So it goes over the top of that. Yeah.
Well, that's nice. Then rotate the dough through 90 degrees. It's a right angle, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. And roll it again into a 30 by 12 centimetre rectangle. I'll tell you what. I've already lost patience with this. But I've been happy since you decided to go. All I need is so. Look, I'm hurt and I want you to know. Just for others to put on a show. Ooh yeah, that's the time please know the man too much sad. Rotate it 90 degrees. And wrap it in cling film. Why does it need to be rotated 90 degrees for me to wrap it up? Now on to the lemon curd. Hopefully you can see me over the steam from here. So we've got to put lemon zest, juice and sugar and butter into a bowl, which I've handily prepared earlier. Lemon zest. Oh. Sugar, bowl, and I am stirring occasionally until the butter has melted. The butter will only melt when I put it in. Then I've got a whisk, beat an egg into it, beat an egg, and gently whisk the mixture, that's a mouthful, gently whisk the mixture over the heat for about 10 minutes until it's like custard. pour it through a sieve into a clean bowl and leave it to cool and set. So that is exactly what I'll do. Lemon curds, so I'm not entirely sure what it's meant to look like. So I'm basically going off feel, like it has thickened quite a bit, like custard, as she says. I mean, a very thick custard. And I've done it for 10 minutes, which is about what she recommended, so I'm going to go with that. So I'm just going to strain it and leave that to chill for a bit. This is my pastry that's been chilling. I think you had to roll it and fold it again 2 times. I think I did it 3 for extra layers. Yeah, I think that's what it's meant to look like. I'm pretty happy with that. The butter's all nicely tucked away inside it. So now it says I've got to, what have I got to do? Roll it until it's 3mm thick. I'm using a 10cm. Now this is exciting. I bought some cutters, I'm well excited. A 10cm round cutter, I actually have a proper one. I don't have to use the big tea mug, I can save that for my big tea. So not only do I have a 10cm cutter, an actual size, although it says 98mm, but it's close enough. Or 3 and 7/8 inches. I mean, who measures in that? No one, no normal person measures in that. And it's double-sided. Honestly, I'm far too excited about this. So I've got a cut. Apparently I'm going to get 12 cut out of this somehow, so I best get rolling and stick them in the pan. So apparently 2 pennies is 3mm thick. Oh, now they're floury. So I think that's the right thickness. So I'm just going to try and go with it and see if we can get 12 out. These are looking pretty good. There's a lot of flour on the bottom. So I just quickly re-rolled the extra bit of pastry so that we had 12. I'm pretty happy with the pastry actually. It looks pretty decent if I say so myself. So now I just need to line them. And I'm going to blind bake them for 20 minutes because that's what Prue says. That's what I'm going to do. So I've cut out some individual squares of baking paper to line them, and I've never in my life bought like baking beans for blind baking stuff, just because, and I don't know where I ever learnt this, years ago, I think probably the first time I needed them, I never had some, and someone said just use old pennies, and I always have done, that's always worked for me, so that's why I'm going to be putting money in my pastry cases. So yeah, I'll line these, get them baked, and then we'll be able to actually make what we're supposed to be making. So they're all lined, I think they look kind of pretty, like that. Yeah, put a bake them for 20 minutes, and then hopefully, I'm hoping they won't burn or anything, because the oven seems quite high, but it's what they say. So I'm hoping they'll come out alright, and then I can fill them, and then we'll have made of one of tarts. So while the pastry's baking, I'm going to make the filling. We've got our curd cheese, which looks rank. It looks like a really bad scrambled egg. Yeah, and so apparently we just chuck all this in a bowl at the same time and mix it together, which seems like, I suppose the eggs will make it a bit runnier, but it seems like it might be quite dry. But oh, even the sound of it, I'm just hoping that when it's all baked, I get the image of this rancid. Just listen to that. Oh, that's okay. Right, I've sugar. It'll all be fine. Doesn't that look rancid? Oh dear. Perhaps that whisking was a bit too vigorous. Oh, it's on my glasses as well. A bit overzealous with the old whisking there. Less rancid than before, so yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Okay, I'm deleting it, right? Oh, steamy. So these have been baking for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to leave them to cool, fill them, and bake them again. Now, finally, I thought this moment would never come. We get to assemble. So the tart bases, if that's what you call it, cases. That's it. What they are, cases, tart cases. I've partially baked. Now, I don't know if I just own a larger muffin tin than everyone else out there, because I used the size cut as she said, and they seem to have shrunk quite a lot, and even with the pennies in them they've kind of puffed up, which is good though, because they've puffed up. I made puff pastry, so that's been a success. So I don't know, I feel like they've maybe shrunk a little bit, so I don't want to overfill them. So I've got my homemade lemon curd that I'm pretty happy with. I mean, I don't know if that's what lemon curd's supposed to look like, but it tastes pretty good anyway. So I've got to put a teaspoon of that in the bottom of each one. I've poured the filling, which honestly still looks rancid, but I've poured the filling into this jug, top them up, bake them for about 10 minutes, and that is that. So once they're baked, I'll let them chill for a bit, decorate them, and we can get round to tasting them finally. So let's fill these bad boys up. Maybe I should have used baking beans.
More pennies.
More penny. I think I didn't. Oh my lord.
Don't be so tight.
I think I didn't weigh the bottoms of them down enough. Way. And so the bottoms of them have puffed up too much, I think. I think that's where we've gone wrong. Other than that though, but it proves that I've made a proper puff pastry because it's puffed up, so you know, it's like swings and roundabouts. Like, I'm disappointed that they're puffed up, but I'm also pleased they're puffed up. Maybe this guy can have a bit. This one looks a bit rubbish anyway, so we'll proper fill in. Oh, that one's gonna breach. Right, I think I'll leave it there. Yeah? Yeah, right. Let's get these in the oven. Let's do it. sure if they're ready, but they've been in for the amount of time that it says. Actually, a minute or two more, so I think I'm just going to have to get them out. I've no idea. Well, maybe. See now, she said don't fill them all the way to the top, so I didn't, because after the disaster of the egg custard last week where they all overflowed, I thought I'll be steady, I'll be careful, I won't, but actually I maybe could have filled them a little bit more, you know. That one looks good, this guy and this guy. Okay, so I've got to leave them to cool completely, and when they're cooled I'll decorate them and we can have a little taste. But overall, pretty happy. So there we are, Maids of Honour tarts complete. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with them. I'm hoping that when we cut into them that the pastry's nice. I'm hoping I like the taste of the filling. Thoughts, they still seem a little bit thick to me, although I've actually for once measured out the thickness of the pastry. And the cutters, maybe I could have used a bigger cutter again. I probably could have filled them a bit more, but I kind of, in my defence, followed the instructions to the letter, so, you know, all down to Prue. Let's get on with it. Let's taste one. Which one looks like the best one to taste? Quite like the look of this guy over here. So, let's move these out the way. Get in on the action. Oh, it sounds good, I'm not gonna lie. That is a crisp bottom with some flaky pastry there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Good bit of lemon curd, some layers, which I'm pretty happy with. Yeah, how's that for a first attempt at puff pastry? Right, as usual, taste test. Cameraman, me, cheers. Yeah. I'm actually very proud of the pastry, and it's quite a good flake of pastry, and I was really worried about the filling because it's an odd kind of texture with the egg. It's still kind of like an eggy texture, but yeah, actually the lemon curd, if anything, really overpowers the filling, but I guess not in a bad way. It makes the whole thing taste really nice. I am actually pretty proud of that. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I think we'll call that one a success. Here we are again. One final thing to do. We need the darts to tell us what our recipe will be next time. What's that in? 18. So this is 86. I seem to be doing all of them from like the back of it. 86 is a Moroccan pie. Thank you to everyone who's watched this week's again. It was a bit of a mammoth effort this week. I've been going since about 8 o'clock this morning to get it all filmed and baked, but I'm pretty happy with the end result. So next time we'll be making Moroccan pie. Join me. Hopefully it will be less stressful than this one, and yeah, see you again.